going to be panning out? Who's going into the jungle? Who's going to be in the EXP lane? Only one way to find out, as TODAK is going to be on the blue side, ONIC Philippines on the red side, and finishing off that first phase. 3 assassins. It's going to be the Amon, it's going to be the Ling, it's going to be the Hayabusa. ONIC PH going to be finishing off the first phase of the with the Paquito, the Yves, as well as Lancelot.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say this bans has been very fast. Looks like both of these teams know exactly what to do, what to avoid seeing. TODAK taking out all of those assassins, looking like, all right, we know what's gonna go, what's gonna happen. And right now, they take the Matilda as the first pick, which is pretty standard for TODAK. Basically, whatever it's up, they're gonna take it. No issues there. ONIC Philippines, a lot is still on the table. Brody is still there. Estes has not been banned. Are we going to see another Estes in the game today?
Personally, knowing ONIC Philippines, they're not an Estes lineup. You want to put Estes on Baloyski, you're wasting a lot of his mechanical skill.
Yeah.
A lot of his shot calling from the front. You want to put Hatred? This kid is a damage dealer. This kid just wants to fight. So I don't think they're going to pick that up. Instead, we get the Nain and Esmeralda. Safe. I love it. That Nathan, more likely going to go in the hands of Marky, might even be in the hands of Hatred in mid. But yeah, this is definitely a Delarski hero in Esmeralda.
Absolutely. I think, the amount of flexes that we can see on the different players on the side of ONIC would be really, really useful, and especially for Hatred. If he needs, I need a damage dealer, boom, we've already got it in the mid lane. And more importantly so, denying Momo off of one of his bigger comfort picks is going to be extremely important, and it's going to force TODAK to dig deeper in towards their pool. There's still Ruby, of course, and there's still plenty of other heroes, but now we are seeing the Brody being locked in from TODAK.
Yeah, Brody is a definitely good pick right now because they need someone to go to the back line to deal with the Nathan, but first they have to think about the Esmeralda. The Esmeralda will use the Falling Star Moon onto themselves, and right now this Luna pick from Moon, I feel like it's good, but looking at the draft right now, this is a pet peeve for me personally, right? What I want to see from Team TODAK, now that they have a Lunox, now that they have a Matilda, if the Lunox want to stay in the mid lane, just want to farm up, totally fine. I want to see the Matilda actually going to the side lanes and help push either lane's advantage over here. Because the thing that I want to see from Team TODAK is making the draft super complicated, that they end up playing in the hands of ONIC Philippines.
So overcomplicating situation, is that what you're trying to get at here?
It is something that TODAK has been known to do.
Yeah, they're the ones who did Gold Lane Rafaela.
That's
so
true.
How crazy would the side lane Matilda be? But I'm guessing against a team like ONIC PH, they want to rein it in. If I may say, Beatrix on ONIC Philippines, that's safe. But for TODAK, that's a little too much damage in the first place. And this is a majority of their damage already picked up.
I mean, I suppose when I'm looking at the ONIC side as well, they got the Beatrix as well as the Tan. That's way more damage than I was expecting within the first phase alone.
And this is kind of telegraphing the fact that ONIC might be answering to TODAK.
Yeah, and just to clarify what I mean by the Matilda is that the Matilda will be playing the roam position.
Yes.
Yes, he will be playing the roam, but what I want to see is not staying there, not staying in the mid, but actually going to the gold lane, going to the EXP.
Babysitting.
Yes, I don't want it to be a situation where he babysits the Lunox. I want the Matilda to babysit either the Brody or whoever the EXP lane is. I'm not saying that the Matilda is going to be a side laner. I'm saying from being in the mid, let Lunox do it. Lunox things. But go to the side lane. That's what I mean.
I love how every single time we talk about TODAK, it's just are you sure it's not going to be a side laner? That's always the topic of conversation, which I find hilarious every single time. But now, ONIC PH, they're going to be making sure that Aldous isn't going to be touched. Karina already been taken out for the side of TODAK and now on their final ban. So far, the way that I see it, ONIC PH, as of right now, they've got a great lineup here. They just need the added bit of utility. Matilda is great and all, but Esmeralda is just going to be stealing everybody's shields from the guiding winds. It's kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, and as of right now, we're looking at the draft. ONIC Philippines, they actually have a lot of range here. And they have a lot of wave clear. And Team TODAK, they still haven't shown their jungler. I don't know how 4Maze is. Roger. So right now, both of these teams, maybe they're looking at the Lancelot. I'm not so sure that ONIC wants to take it early. So now that they've taken the Rafaela, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of sustainability. This is, in my opinion, a very annoying comp, especially trying to end the game. So right now, TODAK, they need a clear initiation style as well as a way to really finish off those team fights.
Bet, Boxia, Lancelot. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
And so basically explain jungle.
Thoughts, Leo?
I'm not
with you.
against it.
I actually like that it's so perfectly settled into those two heroes because you want the Baxia against the Rafaela, and then you want the Lancelot on 4 maze to be able to dive the Bea and the Nathan.
And the Baxia deals pretty well against the Esmeralda as well,
Yep.
you know? It's just, it's chain upon chain upon chain here. And instead, we are seeing the glue. And this final pick from TODAK to finish off the lineup is going to be Alucard instead.
Okay.
Alucard on the world stage. Of
Yo.
course, Malaysia had to bring it.
Okay.
Go, Brady. Go.
Is digesting his thoughts. I was just gonna say, TODAK understood the assignment. TODAK was like, okay, so it's like that. All right, so let us pick heroes that nobody would have expected. I get the glue though. I must say,
Yes.
the logic behind the glue is solid. You want to make the lives of the Nain and the Beatrix hell, and even force Baloyski to play around that boundary that I'm guessing Momo will be putting up. It has to be an XP lane glue here.
Right now, Gideon, I just hope that Alucard just becomes a Malaysia thing. Because Fredo starts off and then Orange, and then right now Team TODAK bringing in the Alucard in the world stage. We keep saying TODAK always brings in okay.
What? What? You thought Malaysia was crazy, Philippines? They're looking down, they're like, bring it, bring crazy over.
The word for crazy in Tagalog or Filipino is baliw. This is baliw dress.
This is Gilu.
Gila.
Right now the Primus just counted the glue, so I don't know how to feel about this, Gideon.
Either it is.
Yeah.
It's just it worked. This is one of the very few situations where the stars have aligned for crazy to be real, and I love it. I love it, and I can't wait to get this game started. It's gonna be TODAK from Malaysia versus the Filipino representatives in ONIC PH. Who is gonna get on top? Because the winners of this, if TODAK is able to win this game, they are almost securing that top spot, and more importantly, getting to the ONIC. They need to be competitive contenders. If they can get this win, the snowball and momentum will be on their side.
All right. Of course, they have to face off against each other. So now we see it's Marky going up against Momo in the XP lane. If you thought the shuffling was done, well, not quite so, says the Malaysians and the Filipinos. Dilarski moved over to the gold lane.
Oh, interesting.
It's a switch up.
Formaze is actually going to be the one playing the Brody, and Chico is going to be in the jungle with the Alucard. Kind of interesting. Thought it'd be the other way around, but let's see, as Hatred already attacking Yums, forcing out a very early flicker here. Moon can only do so much. Naturally, the early stages of the game, it's going to be ONIC PH's mid laners who have more control.
I can already feel how some fans might be struggling to keep up, but yes, Gideon has already laid it down. There's a few layers of shuffling on the side of TODAK, but for ONIC PH, it's really just that. It's just Dilarski and Marky switching up their initial lane, and we saw in the game prior that it kind of works. Maybe in the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes before the third turtle, before things turn into, active team fights left and right, you kind of want to buy time for your gold lane and your XP lane. So now, yeah, Dilarski, he's going to have to face the music here. It's a tough laning matchup against Formaze. He's basically losing this 70-30.
Absolutely, but at least when Kyrie is pathing his way up towards that top side of the map, making sure that if anything were to happen, they don't want the outer forces to make a difference. They trust that Dilarski has the experience to hold against his own, even in a losing matchup, and especially when it's Brody versus Esmeralda, it's really not a lot of fun.
Looking at the bottom lane and the top lane right now, there's a mirror happening, and Yums going to be seeing Dilarski over there, Baloyski dispersing. Going to try to put some pressure on Moon.
Yep, hopefully it's going to be enough as Moon now in a lot of trouble, gets pulled by the guiding wing just in time to allow Chico to jump on towards the start of the pursuit. Does he have enough? Yes, he finds the initial first blood by Razor, and now attacking Baloyski. The superposition coming in from Kyrie, going to be more than enough to push him away.
Is it just me or the stacks on the Alucard passive look kind of like TODAK's logo?
Actually, that's a good point here.
Right?
That's a very good point. That is true and accurate. The turtle slaying here by the Singaporean tourism board as the mid lane gets absolutely demolished. That wave didn't even stand a chance against Hatred's power, but now Formaze actually losing his matchup a level up on this Esmeralda, as well as the rest of ONIC PH continue to push their advantage up towards the top side of the map.
We just left that matchup for what, a minute? maybe less. And Delarski has bullied Formes away. I'm guessing that's just because Delarski needed to get those hits in with the Avarice. And yeah, I said 70-30. Maybe I was being very generous. Maybe I was a little more optimistic for the Brody. But right now, fight breaking out.
Yep, Yums now taking the full damage. Circling Eagle is going to get pushing into Delarski and straight into the raw damage. But Yums manages to survive all of it with the help of Formes. I mean, this is an interesting dive coming in from ONIC PH. I'm surprised they weren't able to get it, but well played to Yums for surviving.
Yums getting away might have been the last straw for ONIC PH. For what? 2 or 3 team fights back and back, ONIC couldn't finish the job. ONIC just put in the right amount of damage to make him go back, but not kill anyone. And that being said, 500 gold ahead. TODAK is... I'm feeling that Chico guys might actually start invading here. He might, with the help of Momo, and even look, they're about to collapse. They're sandwiching the trio from ONIC Philippines in mid.
They're trying to bait something out here, and Chico realizes that as long as their supports open up the map, it's going to be a little difficult here. But Circling Eagle going to get on top of Beloyski here. Kyrie having a fun time. He doesn't mind. He's just going to drop down the entropy. His hatred finds the Beerus Passion. He flickers forward. Kill, and Chico guys takes him out, but just a little too slow. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Now Beloyski quickly flickers on out of there. Alucard unable to get the second part of his ult out.
2 for 1, I'd say that's worth it, especially given that ONIC PH, when it comes to the rotations, are falling behind. And this is why I'm talking about when I say Delarski is such a great XP laner. Now technically a gold laner, he's so good at these isolation plays. He's keeping a Brody at bay. He's keeping a Brody at bay, and with even Yums threatening the Circling Eagle, Delarski's like, okay, make my day. Come on, I have a flicker. You might even regret it.
Yep, throw something at me. And Yums, he's got to play this very, very carefully because every single time, hold on, Delarski now respecting move, but unfortunately, Turtle is going to be taken away by ONIC PH here. So the rest of the team pulls on back. Chiku is going to have to continue and get some kind of snowball somewhere. He's got a little bit of it down, but the team fight coming in from ONIC PH is looking good. They want that mid lane. Yums goes in at the wrong time. Punishing him and throwing him into the hands of ONIC Philippines. Now Momo, who goes in with a split swing, gets on top of Marquis here just to reset his life for a little bit. But Kyrie invading the jungle as much as he can. They finally go for the reset.
Small camps taken by ONIC PH. This is the best thing that they could do right now, especially since they've equaled the kill count, maybe even got one up, and slowly building up this advantage. Now Beloyski facing off against Chico Guy. Gotta say, love the mechanics on Chico Guy early on. He used the tail end of the ult and Momo goes down. So does the... So I look for a small camp as well. Try to bait out a face check from Kyrie.
Yeah, but you can see Kyrie, he's got the whole posse with him, and yes, the super position reveals Chico Guys' position, and quickly with the guiding wind, they had an escape plan ready, and it works out. And as you mentioned, Delarski still having a pretty fun time with Formes on that side, completely isolating him from the situation, because now he's way too tanky, and even dropping the falling star move, he's winning out this trade very heavily, but Formes, he trades back as quickly as he can, he gets to regenerate as the rest of TODAK as well as ONIC continue to path towards topside.
Yums has just been visiting here. He's everywhere, just the same as Delarski is, but now Kyrie and Hatred coming up. Oh, it's 4 men!
Well, if they want it, but I don't think it's not gonna happen. Wait, Beloyski actually flickering forward to try and pick it up. Formes flickering out, dies straight away to the immense burst damage of Nibiru's Passion with the help of Kyrie at the same time. This is top tier 1.
ONIC Philippines is putting up a mobile fusillade. It's essentially just a walking phalanx, and it's Beloyski who sets it up like a spear. He uses that holy baptism, stunning 1, maybe 2, resulting in this kill squad of 4. Right now, down bottom, there's another 2v2. It's a tag team match.
Yep, they're going to find Farmus straight away. Chico doesn't really want to continue this fight. Farmus has already dropped his ult. Any other spells being wasted on him really doesn't matter, but he sees that ONIC is having a great time. They even get another turtle for themselves. That's going to be 2-1 turtles in favor of ONIC Philippines.
There's a good amount of uncanny valley coming in, but here we go again! The fusillade assault! It's going to be Beloyski with that surprise holy baptism, putting it in for ONIC PH one more time, 3-6. I was about to say, I'm liking how the lane swap has gone for ONIC Philippines, because look, now Delarski can go down, and it's a much safer lane. TODAK is forced to keep Forme safe. He just did not have a great early game.
Yeah, I mean, Forme is, despite being a level up on, honestly, on Delarski for the largest a good amount of time, I'm surprised that it is turned out this way for ONIC. I thought, at the very least, not Esmeralda, but, you know, maybe the Beatrix as well, as just Kyrie will start controlling this game, and yes, it did, but not in the way that I thought. But so far, it's not looking good here for TODAK as they desperately try to hold on towards their tier 1, managing to get the fissure down to clear up that way. Beloyski will take the damage, but honestly for me, I think Beloyski is making a significant difference here.
Yeah, he earlier on was trying to help ONIC confirm kills, and I guess this is more of a lethal Rafaela. It's less just tries to save you this whole time. That's why I think TODAK was ahead in kills, is because it's ONIC who was also on the assault. It's also ONIC who understood that they might have to be the beatdown. Now my next question is, where's Marky gonna go with this fast? He's always just been going one-on-one against Momo, and so far they've just always been playing an isolated matchup.
Yeah, I think it's about scaling, possibly. What do you think, LaFell?
Okay, so problem with Team TODAK. They should have gotten more kills earlier in the game because we can see that the damage from Chiku is very strong. Alucard is a very strong early game hero, but right now engaged on to Team TODAK.
Formaze, he gets hit by the Holy Baptism, but luckily takes a guiding wind. This means that mid-tier 1 is going down. He'll force the flicker on out of there. ONIC PH continue to exert pressure and control over the map.
Yeah, and just as I was saying, Team TODAK, they do have scaling heroes. They do have the Brody as well as the Lunox, but they really should respect the Beatrix as well as the Nathan. They skill even better. So if they had a better engaged hero, maybe swap something out of the Matilda, like something like a Joe or something, but right now, Marquis is getting attacked.
Yep, they just have to farm him as much as they can because he is going to be the weak link because he is directly designed for team fights and to counter glue for a large majority of this game.
Yep, and I'm looking at Chiku Guy. I'm wondering if he understood what his actual role is. Earlier on, I agree with LaFell. They should have made more of that opening. They should have made for the back and bait out these team fights wherein ONIC thought that they could win, but right now, obviously, that's not the case. Look at this, Chico Guy is out of position. He's so deep in that they couldn't even contest for Lord.
Yeah, I think at this point of time, we have to understand that Chico, wait, hold on, he's going straight on to Marky once again. Is he going to secure the kill? Yes, he does, and he's going to get out with the help of Yunis' guiding winds, but down on towards the mid-side, towards that tribe rush, we're seeing that Marky is getting held hostage here as Moon wants to get out. Brilliance is already popped in there, just going to run him down. Beloyski doesn't want to continue any further. Calls the team to pull back, focus on what's important. We got Lord, we don't have to force the situation.
Because of that whole pull by TODAK deeper into their jungle, a turret was taken down up top. I think that's a small Requiem, a small Recluse for TODAK. Like, that's a lane push for free. Another one down bottom too, but yeah, this is a huge push by ONIC up top.
Yep, they have to try their best here. I don't think they're going to force it. Here comes the Falling Star Moon coming in from Blarski. Momo tries to get in the middle. Nibiru's Passion has been baited out and split. You can see even the tiny little bit of glue is not enough. Whoa, that's a lot of damage coming in from guys as well as Moon. We're seeing the scaling starting to come into effect here for TODAK.
I'm slightly frustrated with Momo. I think he should be diving Nathan and Beatrix, but he just couldn't find it. I don't blame him. It's just the way ONIC PH is playing. Beloyski's not giving him a chance, and again, Chico Guy is isolating Marky, finding him the weak link. But just the same, I think he's still playing his role.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. Keep him distracted. Whoa, that damn Moon nearly exploding under the damage coming in from a farm is, I wasn't ready for that one. That kind of, that shook me to my core. It's not going to be easy as Blarski and Beloyski. Oh, they find it. 2 ults already being used for Falling Star Moon as well as the Holy Baptism. But this is Yunis we're talking about. He's building full tank. He can eat it now.
Yeah, right now what we can see that Team TODAK is doing, they're actually separating their own team, trying to play the side lanes, trying to slow down the game a little bit more because they want to take something from the ONIC ID way of beating ONIC Philippines. Wait it out. They will eventually make a mistake around Lord and try to capitalize on that.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Beloyski now getting attacked, falling in straight into the Beer's Passion, but no important members getting caught in the fire against it. Hatred. I mean, he's doing a really good job here overall with these Nibiru's Passions, but so far what Incleo can ONIC PH, what they should be looking for is Chiku now can't seem to get out of this situation. He's so deep into enemy lines, and a great super position coming in from Kyrie to ensure that Chiku is going to be slain.
That's one way of doing it. Chico guys got away with the whole, okay, I'll bait you out, surprise my old son. That's why he's gone 5-0 in X so far. But this one time that ONIC just collapsed onto him, he got punished. And that's a lot of gold, honestly. You shut down someone with 5 kills straight, that's a lot of gold. So that's explaining this 5k gold lead still by ONIC despite going 7-7. And Delarcy's gonna catch the Circling Eagle.
Circling Eagles already views the same goals for the Darkening coming in. Split fast. Coming in from Momo, they realized that after the position from Delarcy flickering out of that was done, they couldn't get back on top of him.
ONIC PH, the name of the game for them right now is lane management. They just need in check. And just like the way that I'd say Cade drafted their victory against ONIC, they had good coverage. Now they have much better coverage. I like how LaFell referenced how ONIC ID defeated ONIC PH earlier. That's what they did, but now I think it's on ONIC PH's side, actually. There's 2 marksmen there. For crying out loud, 2 marksmen, and it's so much easier to force out these long fights, especially with Rafaela.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the positions that they're playing from. Mid is getting pushed out. We have Formace down on bot side clearing up those waves. We're seeing that, TODAK, they cannot look to always hard face check this because there's such pressure coming in from ONIC PH's side. They want to play for this Luminous Lord, and I think it's going to be a make it or break it for either one of these teams. 39, holy baptism on towards Yum's side, forcing him back. That's 2 ultimates down. This might be an opportunity for TODAK, but no, they're going to completely give up this Luminous Lord.
That was honestly faster than I expected. Did not notice that ONIC PH was clearly present in bottom lane. That 2-man fusillade attempt was just enough to make TODAK think that ONIC PH was going to commit, and then poof, right from underneath their noses, Luminous Lord.
Yeah, it's still pretty shocking here, but LaFell, now that before Lord gets anywhere close towards TODAK space, what can they do to turn this around?
Right now, Moon has to step up. He can clear the lane very well. Same with Formace on his roadie. Right now, we're at 40 minutes. This is their time to shine, but we do have to see how Momo or Yums will try to set things up. I want to see more from Moon and more from Formace, and actually Chiefs win just to get at least the Beatrix, and then they should be able to defend this.
Bennett's Rage already being used as they're looking to try and open up another inhibitor here. They clear up the waves relatively nicely. They still pushing in, but it's one lane not to worry about here. But look at the damage coming in from ONIC. They should be able to shred it relatively fast. They're not getting too much so far. And TQRS being purchased by Kyrie is now looking to try and catch on Chiku, guys. The Holy Baptism does not connect. Marky maybe in a little bit of trouble. He goes down to 4 maze, and now the initiation has begun. Yums trying to get in towards that backline, gets on top of Delarcy, but it doesn't really matter. This Chiku, guys, hops on towards the wrong targets here. He cannot kill that backline. Moon, unfortunately, cannot get deep enough. Flickers away, giving up that position to ONIC PH to start walking in towards the base. Momo has to do his best. He is already in the split quickly at the last second, gets onto Delarcy, pushes him out, and now Moon with the targeting takes. Last hatred is down. Beloyski walks away, but Delarcy does not care. Is disrespecting the enemies, knowing that they cannot deal with how tanky he absolutely is, as Momo trying his best to hold on with anything. Yums will be able to come back up, but he cannot clear that wave. This should be it here, and they know it. Yums can only do his very best, and ONIC PH will savor these last couple of seconds. GG, well played to the Philippines, ONIC PH.
Back to back, there were moments there where the crazy call, the play to stay and say, we're going to trade, we're going to force this, either on the defense or the offense, could have paid off, but in this case, ONIC Philippines were all the more aware of what cards they were able to play and how much of a threat they were in that situation, which led to their victory.